the home team, Oriental Rongotai, who hosted Wainui Omata today in what is a very important game for both teams. JP Toka, of course, again in commentary with us. Everybody's looking towards accumulating points for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Ories, if they can go another one up today, they just keep pushing harder and further towards the top of the table. And it's a crucial game for Wainui. They need to pick up 5 points here to put themselves in a semi-final contention spot.
So Wainui might kick the football off, so it's Oriental Rongotai with first use of the football just on the halfway now. They make an entry for the first time into the Wainui Omata half, and they get a little bit of width on the play for Matauro, the lock forward, who gets some go forward for Ories. Now Leotawa goes back to the right side for one of their front rowers, Nu'u Lene, and now they come towards the open side. So it's one pass football from Ories. Now they get some depth going for Proctor with a long ball for Kusua. Hayden Whelan with a left foot step before being taken in a tackle by Marvin Karawana, and they are 13 metres out before an infringement on the ground. So Wainui Omata with first use of the football.
Ories started well there. I thought they were really direct in the first 3 or 4 phases, and they used the width well. Hayden Whelan trying to look for Ambrose Curtis, New Zealand Sevens player, and he's also played a bit of EPC rugby, trying to get him into the game. But a turnover there. Ories started well, and it's now Wainui's chance probably to try and get a little bit of field position just sitting outside their 22.
So the home team today, Oriental Rongotai, Whelan is at fullback, Curtis and Tuitama are on the wing, so Okuso and Henry are in the halves, Proctor and Leotawa. Should I say that Henry and Okuso are in midfield, Proctor and Leotawa are in the halves, Tuiatua, Loma Loma and Halafihi. The flankers, Hallam, Eames and Matauro. The two locks, Lene, Prescott and Henry. The front row for Oriental Rongotai as Corey Draper prepares to feed a scrum close to the touchline. Ories are defending the club room's end of the polo ground. Draper now, it's a bad ball along the ground. Karawana is forced to just tip it on, and Michael Lealava'a looks for some field position. Hayden Whelan can't take the football on the full. He's tackled just a couple of metres into the Wainui Omata half, and now coming off the back is Lucky Tuiatua. The number 8 is driven back in a good 2-man tackle. Now Leotawa for Proctor, and then Matauro with a tip on in midfield, but an easy target. Hallam Eames for the Wainui Omata defence. Now Proctor standing on the left side. Simon Loma offloads the ball in the tackle. Proctor, Halafihi in between 2 defenders. Direct running from Oriental Rongotai and strong defence from Wainui. Leotawa, some good footy.
Yeah, just really direct from Ories. A couple of really good offloads going from Simon Loma. They want to hold. It looks like they want to hold on to the ball and not play the territory just yet, and probably to start the game physical out front and just see if they can try and smash the Wainui forwards. But Wainui's holding them well. They're D strong, and we're probably going to see a lot of big hits today.
For Wainui Omata, their team, Robertson, Wepu is at fullback to the team, and Michael Lealava'a on the wings. Told Marmia, Marvin Karawana in the midfield, Monu and Draper in the halves, Henry Stowers just back from the New Zealand 20s, Greg Lealofi and Glenn Angus, the back 3, Gush and Ross, the 2 locks, and Attila Va'a, Norman Fa'alinga and Dave Va'a, the front row for Wainui Omata as Ories in possession of the ball, just on Wainui Omata's 22 line. They get some very good metres going forward. Leotawa for Loma. Again, he's looking to offload the football. Loma. Leotawa now for Paul Halafihi standing on the left side. Nice control by Ories. Not much in the way to go forward. Now Hallam Eames gets the football and 2 defenders at the same time. Now they go wide. Proctor showed the ball on the inside for Curtis. Took on the Wainui Omata defence. They get a quick recycle. And now Loma wraps around from the left to the right side. He's been busy, Loma. Now they come to the left side. Proctor with a cutout ball. Tuiatua with a bit of footwork and a beautiful offload in the tackle. And Halafihi with a ball out late. Very, very good football from Oriental Rongotai. They were patient. The build-up was tremendous. And some great skill, especially from Loma, the blindside flanker from Oriental Rongotai, who was prominent in that sequence of play.
Simon Loma, former rugby league player, just showing his offload skills here. Got over the game line, which got the Ories forwards going forward. And then 2 fantastic offloads. The first one from Lucky Tuia, just to put his number 7, who probably could have gone the distance himself, but was rather thankful and shared the ball out wide. Really well constructed try from Ories. They're playing pretty tight at the moment, but they're playing well and they're making yards, so well done to Ories.
a very impressive back three, Tui Atua, Loma Loma and Halafihi, all three of them, very prominent in that sort of 5-phase sequence of play that saw a very good try scored on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I think if we can see Ories to continue to do that for the rest of the day, Wainui are going to have a tough job. But you know, Wainui team have got a lot of ball carriers in their side who can offload, and once Henry Stowers gets into the game, the New Zealand number 8, under 20s number 8, you know, he gets into his work and he starts running and carrying the ball out wide, he'll do a lot of damage as well. So it's just up to Wainui to try to get their hands on the ball and hold on to it if they can.
James Proctor, very nice conversion from a long way out, so 7 points to 0. Oriental Rongotai have yet to have any football inside their own half, but they have been controlled. They've used their big men well to carry the ball up over the advantage line, and some of the skill that we've seen, even though it's only early in the contest, has been very impressive as Monu restarts play. Leotawa standing on the 22. Charging onto the ball is Loma Loma, offloads again at the tackle, Tui Atua with a big pass out to the left side. Now Whelan trying to get away from the tackle of John Monu. This is very entertaining rugby from Oriental Rongotai as the players go on the ground about 35 metres out, and Wainui are going to be rewarded with the scrum, but they are creative and very ambitious, always coming out of their own half.
Yeah, Ories wanted to have a go straight away from the kickoff. At that time they moved it left straight away to Halen Whelan, not looking to play territory game, but to try and recycle the ball. That time they obviously they couldn't, and Wainui have probably the first decent attacking opportunity now. So let's see if we can get Marvin Karawana into the game and perhaps get a little bit of go forward for Wainui.
Very impressed with Simon Loma Loma on the subject of go forward. He carries the ball with some vigour and aggression. He's got a bit of skill as well, a good size about him. And as JP Toka was saying, not a long history of rugby, he's been tied up in rugby league in recent seasons, but he's a good player with the football. You've got Monu, Karawana, long ball for Robertson. Wekley loses the ball forward. That's an easy possession now for Oriental Rongotai. Okuso coming away with the ball is held up by a couple of defenders. The ball slow coming back on the Oriental Rongotai side. Leotawa now for Halafihi. A long ball over the top for Tuitama. And now staying alive on the inside, Jared Henry. So Oriental Rongotai, they're going backwards, but they control the football. Now Proctor, Loma Loma again, drops the shoulder, runs over the top of the first defender. Takes two more to bring the big blindside flank into the ground. Now some tip-on play down the right side. Very good play from Oriental Rongotai. They're into the backfield. A little show and go, and they're charging away down. The second try is coming. Is it Matodo? The lock forward for Oriental Rongotai. A great try from Ories. They are innovative, creative, and gee, they're playing some good football today.
The Ories just being able to get their hands free 2 or 3 times, and they're doing a lot of damage. The offloaders are running good support, they're tight and they're close, and the communication looks good. And once again, they just showed that they can hold on to the ball for 2 or 3 phases. They're breaking up the Wainui D, who unfortunately they had a good attacking opportunity. The ball didn't quite go where it needed to go, and Ories have turned over and gone 5 or 6 phases and effectively 65-70 metres downfield. So a great start from Ories, and once again I keep saying I think Wainui just need to get the ball and hold on to it for a little while and get their big guys into the game.
Either that or Wainui might need to go back in the dressing room and come out again because they haven't fired a shot in the opening few minutes of the game. What little possession they had, they haven't been able to maintain or get any continuity together. We'll go around the grounds after this attempt conversion. 12 points to 0, the home team. Oriental Rongotai are leading, and they are playing great football. Lots of skill, enjoyable so far watching these opening minutes. James Proctor on the right hand side with a comfortable kicking style, but he's not able to be successful. But they have been innovative with the ball. They have used it even inside their own 22. They've been confident and they've been very inventive, and that's shown on the scoreboard. 2 quick tries, and they have been tries that have been brilliantly worked with good offloading and good support play. So we'll go around the grounds in Saturday Club Rugby, and we'll come back to the Polo Ground. But it's the home team Ories that are out of the blocks easily by 12 points to 0 so far against Wainui Amata. Who scored the first try? Was it Matodo as well? Has he got a double?
Was it 7? Was it 7?
I thought it was. Who's your one?
Power offloaded it.
Power offloaded it, and it must have been the home 5.
did you see who scored that first try for Ories?
Rewind.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for your help.
Rewind, please.
Was it not Ambrose?
No, I don't think. Well, I thought the guy had hit here.
Oh, okay.
Can you text Mason?
It was either 4 or 5. Right, so,
Oh, maybe it was Hunter then.
Hello. No worries, mate. $17 to 0. Scott's over hoops.
Thanks for coming.
This is it.
Oh, numbers.
Wellington 5-0. Image pick.
Oh, good offline. Score back. Well done, dude.
Josh.
Well done.
Thanks, Bucky. 12 points to 5 now. Josh Robertson Ripley, the first time that Wainui have entered the Orient Rongotai 22 in this opening stanza here at the Polo Grounds, and they've come away with a very good try after a couple of good handles from John Monu at first receiver and Marvin Karawana, who made a good break up the middle. It's a good game of footy, JP Topper.
Ories got their hands on the ball there and managed to hold on to it for a little period of play. And Corey Draper just with a couple of little darting runs, just holding a few defenders, and they went the same way and dragged Ories across the field to the far right hand side. And it was quite well worked. That they put Ories under pressure, and if they can continue to play like that for the rest of the 80 minutes, we're going to have a cracking game on our hands.
We've seen 3 tries, all scored from blindside plays.
We have, yeah. I think the guys are just using the width well, and then they're going the same way. So they're spreading the defence, and then they're going the same way, and just exhausting and using the width of the field really well. So neither side look like they want to kick today. They want to play running rugby, which is really exciting.
One of the hardest things to defend in the game, mate, as you know, is offloading and the tackle. We've seen some great examples from both sides.
Yeah, I think today they're going to have to talk about gang tackling, and someone's going to have to try and wrap up that ball. You think Wainui with their leg background, they'll probably be able to cover that up well, but Simon Longmorn has been able to get their hands free on a number of occasions, so I'm sure they'll be talking about just how they can shut that down. But yeah, like I say, both sides, loose forwards and locks, have just been able to unload at ease, and it's making the game pretty exciting for the spectators.
Josh Robertson Wepu was successful with converting his own try, so the score now is 12 points to 7. It is just a comeback that Wainui needed at 12 points to 0, having had no time with the football, no time at all inside the Orient Rongotai half. They have done very well to come back. So we're back to halfway for a restart. James Proctor opting to go short, where Greg Leolofi, the Manu Samoa 7th player, was able to take it. Henry Stowers tips in at first receiver. Now they've put a play down the left side and some nice elusive running from Michael Lealava'a. Gets forward, he's tackled down the 10-metre line of Oriental Rongotai's half, and now they spread the ball. There's Marvin Karawana. Now Greg Leolofi trying to draw the defence, and Terry Timu with a big right foot step runs away from the tackle of Whelan. Draper at first receiver, Henry Stowers at second receiver, goes to the line, and now Atilava'a, the big front row, is tackled just on the 22-metre line. Michael Lealava'a, first receiver with a lovely no-look pass. In fact, it's Wainui, they're still on the 22. Stowers now, a little second man play for John Monu, steps off the right foot. Some direct running now and a good work in defence from Tuiatua. The referee was playing an advantage, but Wainui looking much better with the football.
Yeah, they started well here. They've just pick up a little bit of momentum. They're holding onto the ball, and they're using the width really well. Some great hands. They've got some big wingers. They've made a couple of big darting runs, and if they can continue to do that and keep Ories in the back foot, they'll put a lot of pressure on them, because it's pretty tiring defending that amount of time. And Ben O'Keefe, he's had a few Super 12 games this year, has awarded Wainui a reasonably simple penalty up front. So if Wainui can capitalise here and get back down Ories into the field, then they'll be straight back in this game.
JP Togger played 164 games for his beloved club, the mighty Marist and Pats, a 4-time Jubilee Cup winner. Great to have his comments and his contribution on Saturday. Club rugby here as Josh Robertson Wepu has taken the ball just back to the 22. He's in very good position. We have been so far witnessed to a very entertaining game of rugby, with the opening 10 minutes well and truly belonging to the home team, Oriental Rongotai, and the last 5 or 6 to Wainui Mata as they've started to dominate some field position and get their hands on the football. As Josh Robertson Wepu in very good position, does it comfortably with the goal kick as well to make it now 12 points to 10. This is a good game of football.
It is a good game of football, and I'm just excited to see teams use width and let the ball do the work. Both teams got pretty big 4-packs, but you can see Wainui, they've talked about trying to move the Ories forwards around. If they can continue to do that, then they'll wear them down and they'll create more opportunities for themselves.
So James Proctor shouting out some instructions to his chasing line that have lined up on his left side. He gets a little bit of depth on the kick. Corey Draper's backing up to the football. Falls over and being forced to go to the line where a couple of Oriental Rongotai defenders are waiting for him. The ball is coming back slowly. Josh Robertson Wepu is one option. Henry Stowers is another. Standing with a little bit of width, Henry Stowers, the New Zealand under-20s representative who was successful with the New Zealand team. And the ball untidily coming to the bar. Now Fa'alinga and Gush, the lock forward. Another short side raid from Wainui. They're still inside their own half. Alafihi getting in there and hustling behind the advantage line. Henry Stowers now showing a bit of skill out wide. And this is good play from Wainui Mata into the backfield. Good defence and solid attack from Wainui Mata. They need to recycle the ball. Wainui took it into the ruck. It's slow coming back. And now they Karawana again. Second receiver came. Gush the lock forward. Tackled by Tuiatua. Just short of the halfway. Good rugby from both sides, offensively and defensively. And now Karawana at halfback. Draper, first receiver, tries to get the ball back on the Wainui Mata side. There's good counter ruck. And then an offence made by Henry Stowers. But some good rugby from both teams. Again, this is quality.
It's just nice to see neither team learn to kick the ball today. And there's not a huge crowd here, but we're gonna be in for a great game of footy. Wainui got a lot to play for. David Barr's 100th game today, so they'll be pretty pumped up. And it's also Jared Henry, Fetu Henyu's younger brother's 50th game for Ories, so a little bit on the line. It always means a lot to play 50 or even 100 for your club.
JP, Oriental Rongotai and the current era of Super 15 rugby is an amazing relationship between really a small club out here in the eastern suburbs with the Savia brothers, Proctor, of course Matty Proctor, we're talking about Nono, and of course Mark Reddish setting up for the Highlanders tonight from a community club like ours with a wonderful record. This is it's a time for them to celebrate regardless of the outcome tonight.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. It's a great community here. They're all Oriental Rongotai boys. I can lay claim to the Proctors being from St. Pat's Town, but it's just an awesome little atmosphere, and they've built such an amazing culture in here. And in the last 4 or 5 years, Ories have been the top club in town, and I think guys like Mara had a really big influence, and especially Mark Reddish as well. He always came back and played as much as he could for his club, and those are the sorts of things that makes a big difference and really impact your club side.
And I'll say regardless of the result tonight, it doesn't matter what happens, but an Oriental Rongotai player is going to win the Super 15 title tonight. There's Ories with very good field position. Again, they attack the Wainui Mata defence inside their 22. Tuiatua is hustled by Henry Stowers, who tries to throw his opposition number 8 to the ground. A good tussle going on between two boys. It's an even contest. Lea Tawa now. Tawa at first receive another short ball for Nu'uleni, who tries to keep the ball inside the field of play, but good defence from Wainui Mata. It's a tight contest now at 12 points to 10 after Ories jumped out 12-0.
I think Wainui's just up the ante a little bit. They're in the game now, they're defending hard, they're putting in some big hits, and you can just see the excitement and the energy levels just pick up a little bit. And I think they're just getting stuck into this Ories team now who started well, but they've sort of weathered the storm, so to speak. And if they can just get out of their own 22 now and then put Ories under a bit more pressure, then we can sort of see Wainui sort of really start to try and dominate the Ories fullback.
And of course, to that very impressive list of Oriental Rongotai players is Motu Matu, who will come from the bench tonight. And isn't it great to see Motu standing down sideline supporting his team.
Yeah, it's case in point of these Ories guys. They're always down here. You know, Martin, all the boys were down here when Ories rolled NSP a few weeks ago. They're just big supporters and they're good community guys. And you know, it's all about being a good guy. And I think that's what those guys are. They're just top blokes, and it is supporting your brothers, and that's what they do well.
So 12 points to 10. The play has slowed up a little bit from razzle-dazzle football we saw in the opening 20 minutes. We'll go around the grounds in about a minute's time, but it's an attacking scrum for Ories Rongotai. Just inside the Wainui 22. Nobody on the blind side. Leotawa feeds. The scrum wheels around slightly to the left side. Proctor on the move, showed the ball on the inside, gave it to Ambrose Curtis on the outside, and now a little one-on-one play with Okuso Tuitama. He tried to get the ball back on the inside. It was loose. Wanyamata have come away with it quickly. A bit of skill from Greg Leolofi, but we're coming back for a knock-on by Oriental Rongotai. So Wanyamata will get the feed to a scrum inside the 22 and an opportunity to be able to exit their 22 and get some better field position. But we'll go around the grounds and update you on the other scores from our remaining 3 Jubilee Cup games, of course, in the 4 Hardin Cup games. But out here at the Polo Ground, in a close one, in a thriller, it is Oriental Rongotai 12 over Wainui 10.
I nearly said good bastard. Nearly said good bastard.
You can say that.
It's the ethos. I have a swear jar at home now too, so this is good training. We're not going to kick it either.
Yeah. Do we find out the Mason text back? Oh.
Alright, mate. I know how to transfer information without them interrupting the commentary. Stealth, mate. Didn't even know it happened.
TV, they just pull it up.
yeah. The sun in the telling you what. Where's Genesis gone?
He's playing Division 1 over in France somewhere.
Right.
He's on the 2nd year of his 2-year contract.
His missus hasn't gone, eh?
Nah.
She on the piss with Lana and Jane in last week.
Yeah, she's staying here.
Is it Ross, number 5?
Ross. Who's Ross?
Tell him. Killing him.
Fuck, who tackled him? He tackled himself.
Fell over, man.
He's another hard runner.
Terry.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Sione.
Quite disappointed. We had a few moments over the years, and they're in the archives too.
Eric Sione got hauled a couple of weeks ago. He just fell over the line.
Where is he?
He's just gone to France.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
Fuck, he must have one good agent to get him over there.
He weighed 140 gigs, I reckon. He was
Plus 30. Plus 30.
He's done nothing really, hasn't he? He's had a lot of opportunities.
They had to
He was a big disappointment last year.
they had to make a new jersey for him when he came over here. They couldn't put him there.
Did he play here for Ories?
Yeah, he freaking played 2 weeks.
Really played for North.
Yeah, no, he left North.
For Jubilee Cup. Like 2 games we got.
What's that shot on? Who's that? That's a good tackle. Jared Henry.
Frankie Bryant's having a run for MSP today.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's a bit injured, eh?
I think his hand's been over or something. There we go. Straight.
Nice.
Good ball, this guy.
He's a doctor, eh, Ben?
Yeah. Surgeon?
Go! Ories, mate. Oh, nice. Loma Loma. Whoa! Tower over Huddle Boys. Thanks, Bucky. Wainui Mata on attack. Josh Robertson Webber's into the backfield of the defence. And a player on the outside, hang on to the ball. Now he's into the 22 on the left-hand side. Robertson, Wepu, Fa'alinga now for Corey Draper, second man play for Monu. And a cut-out ball for Karawana to the line. A ball over the top is knocked forward by Hayden Whelan. But both teams have been wonderful in their use of the football today.
Just both teams having a go. I think Ken, they're trying to use the width, and neither side want to kick the ball. We've just seen a 7-point play there. Hayden Whelan just unfortunately knocked it on, but the ball travelled over his head and just put his wing Tumu into the corner. And just exciting stuff. It's not helter-skelter, but it's direct, it's physical, and there's lots of running. So it's exciting club footy.
Always hard when we're doing these games to pick out a player that stand out, but gee, I've been impressed with Loma Loma, blindside flanker for Oyentu Rongotai. He's tough, he's aggressive, he's a good defender. We just saw him a moment ago make a good hit, strip the ball in the tackle, and his carries have been outstanding.
Yeah, he's getting around the track and he's getting his hands on the ball a lot. He's obviously pretty fit, and that's probably an ability of his to stay in the game and continue. And when he does get his hands on the ball, he's offloading or he's direct and he's bumping guys off. If he can keep that up for 80 minutes, it's going to do a lot of damage and to tie down the Wainui defence.
So the scrum is going to go on the 22-metre line. This is Oyentu Rongotai's 22. The scrum is on the right-hand side of the park for Wainui, so it will set up a right to left attacking opportunity for them. And Teru Timi, the right winger, has been very busy and very effective with his runs. He's got himself tucked in behind John Monu, who's standing at first receiver. Outside him, Karawana, who's been outstanding in the match as well. The ball misses out both players, and it's Karawana who takes the ball, but he's got two defenders to deal with. Is able to get to the ground and recycle. They go to the left side. Henry Stowers drops the shoulder into a couple of Oyentu Rongotai defenders. The ball's coming back untidily. Now Monu, this ball, the play is going backwards. Attila Va'a running in the tram line, the big front row. He's been tremendous today. Attila Va'a, and now Karawana, first receiver. Cut out ball for Henry Stowers. Short ball for Michael Lealava'a. Nice angled run to get in behind the defence. Michael Lealava'a. A good run. They recycle the ball quickly at the back now. First receiver Henry Stowers. Marvin Karawana to the line. Running hard and straight at Patoru. They're 15 metres out. Second man play again. Cut out ball. Declare Lofi for Attila Va'a. 1-on-1 with Fetu Henry close to the touchline. They recycle. Draper. Teru Timi drops the shoulder. Tui Atua tries to take his legs out from underneath. They go quickly to the left side. Monu. Nice flat ball. It's off a Oyentu Rongotai hand. The referee's ruling that it's going forward. Wainui Mata were building some plays brilliantly, but outstanding defence from Oyentu Rongotai, who were challenged a number of times.
Ories did well to defend, but Wainui are really getting into this game, and they're using width, but they're running really straight and direct. So they're holding out 2 or 3 Ories players, and they're getting stuck in rucks and more, so it's opening up opportunities out wide for Wainui. Marvin Karawana and Michael Leava are running really dangerously. I think they're getting themselves into the game, and every time they get their hands on the ball, they're making breaks, or they're offloading and creating trouble for the Ories side.
We've just seen a great play down this left side. Attila Va'a running down the trend line, and out there to defend him was Fetu Henry. It was a train on a truck.
It was a big collision, and I think Fetu took the good route and he went nice and low and just tumbled the big fella, but it would have been nice to see him go 10-15 metres and score there.
So now it's a defensive assignment for the home team, Oriental Rongotai, who will feed a scrum about 15 metres out from their own line. It's on Oriental Rongotai's right side as they look down from the club room's end of Polo ground at number 1. They lead by 12 points to 10 after they jumped out to a 12-0 start in the opening 10 minutes. The front row goes down. The Atawa, who's been solid, the veteran halfback, it's controlled at the back, and they're looking to put a play on from inside their own quarter, and it's Jared Henry who just carries the ball straight into the Wainui defence. It's now being turned over. The referee, Ben O'Brien, is penalising Wainui for being offside at the ruck.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit of help there from his touchy because he certainly wouldn't have been able to see that, but just hands in the ruck. Probably a little bit silly at this stage of the game when you got the territory, but Ories just shown a reluctance to kick even on their own line and been really direct and using Jared Henry to crash and try and get over that game line. So I just think if they can continue, both sides continue to play like this, they're both going to be pretty tired, and we've just seen Lucky Tui leave the field, and I think he's got a little bit of concussion.
He's been busy as well, Tui Atua as well, he's been infected, so Marsoi has come on in place of him as Prescott, the try scorer, goes to the back for Halafihi. A little short play now. Marsoya's first carry takes on Monu, and Kane Bush gets him to the ground. Aggressive tackle. They hit the left side. Halafihi now. Paulo Ukuso gets the ball away from Whelan. And now Ambrose Curtis is away. The referee's blowing the whistle for a forward pass. But Ambrose Curtis, he had two, Greg Leofalofi to deal with. And then Josh Robertson went for him. And of course the skill and class of Curtis, that could have finished with anything.
Yeah, Paulo Curso back from France. He's just making a little bit of an impact on the game. Good little hands there, just slightly forward. I think if Ambrose Curtis had got away there, it would have been an interesting finish. But big matchups in the midfield today, both Ories and Wainui, with Karawana and Jared Henry and Paulo Curso back, obviously. It's some good, big, robust players. So I'm just kind of hoping that Wainui can use these guys and get the ball into Makuli Ava's hands as much as they can.
Karawana has been the pressure today, 12 for Wainui.
Yeah, he has. He's got a great pedigree about him, and he'll probably play some NPC this year. He always dominates, and he's always really consistent.
So Monu for Marvin Karawana, who takes on the tackle of Proctor. Proctor gets him to the ground. They recycle and go to the left side for Greg Leolofi. Takes on Okuso, gets him to the ground. Now Draper, they go back to the right side. Teru Teme, this very, very busy winger, have been very active with the football today. Draper trying to get his hands on the ball. Some hustle coming from Oriental Rongotai. The referee is happy with it. Now Matalo comes away with the ball. Ambrose Curtis with a catch, chip and chase. And one play, he's got the ball into the backfield. Needs a good bounce. Curtis going back in defence is Marvin Karawana. He's been busy the second five, but he's turned on the Oriental Rongotai side. There's an advantage for Ories. The referee's blown his whistle. They will get a scrub now in very good field position.
Yeah, good opportunity here. They've got a big blind, 20-30 metres, and Ambrose Curtis on that left wing. See if they can bring him into the game. Pumila Atoa, he is a veteran, but he still can move pretty quick. They've got a few options, Warriors, and they run some pretty good blocking and whip plays. So we'll just see what they do here. In fact, Ambrose Curtis looks like he's dropping the fullback while Whelan just receives a bit of attention on the sideline.
Well, this is where the game is now. JP, wraparound plays, short balls, inside balls. Second man plays, third man plays, decoy runners, ball being tipped out late. It's just the reality of the way the game's played these days.
Yeah, Wainui have been doing it really well. They're using their block players or their decoys well, and they're quite hard to defend because the ball's travelling behind the block player, and you often have to D up on two guys. So if your defence isn't well organised and not communicating, and if you're showing too much space, then you're going to get punished. And 2 or 3 times the Wainui have just held onto the ball, and the block player has carried and just gone straight through holes. It's hard to defend, and I think Ories at the moment sort of need to hold a little bit tighter together and probably just talk a little bit more. But this is Ories' opportunity now to get back in the game, and they've got 12 out, Henry out left with Ambrose Curtis. That's Jared Henry's. It's Whelan out wide. Whelan is now moved to wing, and Curtis has gone to fullback. So they've got options both left and right here, Ories.
Interesting shape. Ball is held at the back. Leotawa runs right and swings the ball back to the left. Henry now one-on-one tries to take on Angus. Gives the ball late and high for Whelan, so he's an easy target for Terry Terry in defence. Leotawa now, second man play for Proctor. He just tips it on for Milton Leonard, the loose head prop. He goes forward looking for a quick recycle. They're going to go back to left side. Leotawa again, the ball is on the ground. Henry with a chip and chase, forcing Wainui to backpedal. They're now inside the 22, trying to scramble the ball away, and they've won a penalty. So Ories, they were very deliberate, attacking a narrow blind, trying to jam Wainui in the corner.
Just trying to create one-on-ones. I think Ories, they've got some big guys, and generally if they get into one-on-one situations, they've shown that they can offload in tackles. And it's hard to defend those offloads, especially in that amount of space. But Wainui now, good turnover, good penalty. Time for them to get out of their 22 and try and get back down into this Ories territory and start creating the damage like they were sort of 5 minutes ago.
And so we've gone from a game that was full of running and full of enterprise in the opening 20 minutes to a much more tighter, more structured contest over the last 10.
Yeah, I think there's a few guys breathing pretty hard, so the game has slowed down a little bit after the first intense 10-15 minutes.
Tilavaa was the thrower of the ball at the line, and he went long for Henry Stowers, but it's been missed. Now it's been lost forward. Wainui under the pump a little bit. Now there's going to be an attacking scrum for Ories to Rongotai. They look to be well organised. The ball was won easily at the back, but the transfer from the line-out win to do something progressive with the ball didn't happen.
No, just once again, still don't want to kick out their 22. They're just opting to hold on to the ball and try and carry and make Ories make a lot of tackles, which is a good option. Once again, Ories now had a great attacking opportunity. Jared Henry and Whelan out left. Once again, it looks like Ambrose Curtis has switched to fullback. They can go both sides here. They've got some big power players, so let's hope Ories can make something of this opportunity.
So it's an attacking play for Ories. They're inside the 22 again. Henry and Whelan have parked themselves out on blind side, as JP Tocker alluded to, about 20 metres long. Proctor, Ukusu, Curtis and Tuitama. So it's a 4-2 split. That's the shape that they're showing Wainui on defence. As the front row goes down, the ball goes in from Leotawa, works its way to the back of the scrum. They hold, they're going to go the right side for Proctor. Ukusu is the player, missed out. Ambrose Curtis gets on the outside of the first defender, commits the next two, pirouettes in the tackle, then goes to the ground. Ories look to recycle the ball. The pick and go was a good one. Again, they pick up a couple of metres and advance the football. Now they go a little bit wider. Lomba at first receiver. He started from behind the advantage line, got himself forward of the advantage line, and the ball coming back for Ories, and they're going to win a penalty. But again, patient, disciplined and professional play from Orient to Rongotai.
Ories has shifted the ball well. They're going quickly out to the left, and they've got a couple of numbers if they can move it. Curtis with an opportunity. Jared Henry. Marama.
So Whelan is close on the left side. He's just short. After they went to the quick tap, the referee says we're coming back for a 5-metre scrum, but Orient to Rongotai, again, they're ambitious. They probably haven't had the ball with good field position since the opening 10 or 15 of the game, but we've seen them, they're anxious to use the football.
Yeah, opportunity for them to kick 3 points there, but they opted to hold on to it and keep the flow going. Just Ambrose Curtis making a little sliding run there, just needed to get outside his defender. He probably could have fed the winger outside, but chose to hold on. And they went 2 or 3 phases. On this occasion, I think Loma ran a little bit high, got held up. Ories were able to maintain the penalty and keep pressure on Ories, but keep pressure on Wainui. But scrum now, 5 metres out from the line, and 5 metres from touch. And we've got Whelan and Ambrose looking pretty dangerous. I like to see Akusa, if he can get the ball close to the line, he can run hard. But so far, Wainui have defended very well.
So this time, Whelan and Jared Henry have set themselves on the open side, so there's now nobody on the blind. It's only a narrow blind, only 5 metres for Leotawa to work if he wants to go there. The ball is into the scrum and works its way towards the back. It's slow. They're trying to keep it in the scrum. It's wheeled around by Wainui. There's an advantage with Ories. Now it's turned into a penalty. So more pressure for the Wainui team to absorb as Orient to Rongotai very good at exploiting the blind. We've seen a lot of that today. Prescott a try, Mataldu a try, and a conversion from James Proctor to 12 points for Orient to Rongotai. Josh Robertson Repu a try. Teams in the middle of the line out does very well. Now they think about a drive going forward. Orient to Rongotai but the driving ball goes to the ground. Wainui in there trying to get over the ball. The Atawa scrambles the ball backwards. Ambrose Curtis, they've lost about 10 metres on the play. The referee was always playing a penalty advantage, so we're coming back for the penalty. A decision now by Ories. We saw them take a quick tap just a moment ago, and we'll go around the grounds in about after this sequence of play, which is going to see a line out formed on the 5 metre line in the same position.
I think we just saw a 12-man line-out, which I haven't seen in club rugby possibly ever. They left the fullback and the winger out, and Ories, I think, were predetermined that it was an all-in team drive. We might see it here again, but we've got a couple of backs lined out. Ories big full-back, we should really see them go, hopefully 2-ball, and see if they can drive this one over.
So Prescott, more traditional line out to the back for Halawhihi, comes off him for Masoi, and he said that the ball went forward of Halawhihi to Masoi. As a result, it is a good play for Wainui, who will get to feed a scrum inside their own quarter, but they've done well to hold Ories out, who have looked hot in the last few minutes.
Yeah, they are just holding them out, and they've done really well. And if they can sort of get to half time and where the score's at now, Ories will be a little bit frustrated. So Wainui here, they need to get out of the territory, they need to clear well. So far they haven't kicked, and it'll be interesting to see if they try to run this out. But I think they should probably try and clear this and just try and regather and just slow things down a little bit and reset.
So just 12 points to 10, the 2 points separating the two teams, a reflection of how close the game has been. Even the Ories they have really enjoyed the balance of field position, spending the majority of the time inside the Wainui half, and a lot of that inside Wainui's 22, where about 10 metres out, Corey Draper feeds the scrum, the Wainui scrum holds steady. Marvin Karawana at first receiver charges the ball forward into the defence. Josh Robertson, Wepu standing in the pocket, tries to improve their field position with some good depth on the kick. That is good basic exit rugby from Wainui.
Just Marvin Karawana, they're just carrying the ball over the game line and just allow Robinson Wepu to get into a good position and excellent clearing kick, and just to put them 45 metres out from their line. Well done, Wainui.
So we'll go around the grounds and update you on the other scores. 3 other remaining games in the Jubilee Cup plus the 4 Harden Cup games. But we're approaching half time here. It's the home team, Ories head of Wainui by 12 points to 10. Hit it, didn't he? Oh, nice. Nice. One up, one down. Get that in there. Hey?
He does run up with my legs.
Swinging around his shoulders. Yo! Watch it, mate. Sweet. Yep, sweet. Sweet, mate.
He puts himself a little bit of a target. Just
16-10 JP.
Yeah.
Just listening to Hello Boys and Tawa summary. JB's fucking. carving them up. Nearly 12 points to 10, the score still here at the Polo Ground in what's been a very good half of footy. The referee, Ben O'Brien, great to see a referee of his status spending some time back in our club game as he just blows the whistle for half time. So Prescott the hooker with a very good try in the opening couple of minutes for Ories, and then Chuakana Matilda with a very, very good try as well in the left-hand corner for Ories. Rongotai 12 points after James Proctor was successful with the conversion, and Josh Robertson-Wepu a try, conversion and penalty. So half-time here, Matthew, but it is Orient Rongotai 12, Wainui Mark 10.
I think the first time we got the ball, I didn't even touch it. And then it remained like that for the rest of the game. They put on 45 points on us. Oh, shit, he's leaving the club after that.
Taking another yellow card.
Get up.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Whoa.
Ah, no. I can you see, well, Wainui prefer to run the ball out because that's what happens when they kick. Hey, because that's what happens when they kick.
You remember Wilson Fellow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, and Mark him once or twice.
Did he end up over at Tigers, Ken? Hey, because he played in that Wainui League team that won the Nationals under Johnny.
2007.
And then didn't he go over to the Tigers the year after that or something?
Yeah, but never to be heard of.
He wasn't much fun.
Yeah, he was a St Bernard's boy. So what year were you at Stream?
I was
Oh, you were Town.
I was Town.
Oh,
Last year was 2000. So
Was Dad at Stream?
yeah, Dad Elman Stream. Yeah. My first year for Stream was Jed's last year.
Aye.
Yo. No problem, mate. We started. And Ben O'Brien keeps telling me he's going to give away the doctor.
Really? Sure he can pick it up after he's. He's Scott taking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Super intense. Might have been a good hit. Might have been a bit bigger than it looked.
12-11 for Tony over you. Thanks, Bucky. Let's score 15 points to 12. Now with Orient Rongotai, we just won a line outside their 22. They think about some field position aboard. There's a midfield bomb for Robertson. Wepu doesn't take it on the full. Goes behind him and he gets belted by Masoi on the way through. Tries to secure the ball again. Robertson Wepu slow coming back for Draper. Now Greg Lealofi with a one-on-one with Masoi. We're coming back for a penalty advantage. And Lealofi with a quick tap. Karawana on the inside now. Henry Stowers with a left-hand fend on Prescott before a couple of other defenders arrive and get the big back rower to the ground. Monu, a cut-out ball for Attila Va'a. Tries a little bit of footwork, the loose head prop, runs easily over the top of Fetu Henry before coming to the ground and the tackle of the next defender. Now another long ball for Angus, and that ball was meant for Leala Va'a, but it went behind him, but the referee was playing an advantage for an offside by Ories. So we're off to a helter-skelter start in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a full-on start, that's for sure. Ories taking a quick tap early on and scoring, I suppose, an opportunist try only after a few minutes. And Wainui decided we couldn't clear it easily. And then straight away, once again, Wainui another quick tap and just attacking footy. Both sides running pretty straight and being very direct. So it's a physical game here, but we're really enjoying it. And Wainui an early opportunity to get down to the Ories 22 and try and put some points on.
We talked at the beginning of this game about the importance of both of these teams accumulating points as we head towards the playoffs. Wainui, 1 win and 3 losses. 6 points in the precarious position of 6th, looking for a top 4 slot. Ories are on the tie, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 12 points. In 3rd place, looking to consolidate. So for both of these teams, there's plenty at stake with the championship points that are dished out today.
It's very important just to keep the momentum up in the Jubilee Cup round. You know, it's a short round and you need to win week to week. You can't be resting on your laurels at any time, especially against any of these teams, and certainly not against Wainui.
Attila Va'a is the thrower at line at times, a bit of movement in the line, but Kane Gush was the target. Now Monu, cut out ball for Karawana. It's a second man play for Terry Timet, a little dummy to the open side, and then he goes to the ground, and a very good tackle. They recycle quickly towards the right side. Henry Stowers now running off the shoulder of John Monu, who whips around to the right side. The ball's slowly coming back. Draper gets the football and Fetu Henry at the same time, so he can't clear the ball quickly. Slowly it comes back now. Henry Stowers trying to hold off Nu'ulene with a left-hand fan, but he's driven back in aggressive defence by Orient Rongotai. Now off the back goes a Cameron Ross with a pick and go. Over the top of him is Halafihi. The ball slow coming back. Monu to the line. Inside ball for Michael Lealava, who's belted and a perfectly timed hit from Orient Rongotai. They've got a penalty advantage, Wainui and Mata, but it's a very, very willing contest between the big men's close at Ruck and Mall area.
Yeah, just a lot of short, one-off runners, just big hits and running straight. And just we see the big right up the middle again there, and just bumping off a couple of the Ories defenders.
Yes, Halafihi got the right-hand shoulder of Va'a, and now Michael Lealava with some footwork at the line. He's been aggressive offensively and defensively today. There's a Michael Lealava. Now Marvin Karawana with a beautiful pirouette, gets the ball away in a tackle. Terry Timet, desperate tackle from Paulo Ukuso, but Karawana with a beautiful break, lovely offload. They've got Orient Rongotai under some pressure. Karawana now scrambles the ball out to Lealava. He shows the ball on the inside and he gives the ball long. Wainui Mata out on the right hand side with good numbers out there. Clark is out there, Angus is out there in support. They recycle. The ball was meant for Karawana, but it's Lea Lofi. Misses out 4 players for Kane Gush. Now Attila Va'a with a tip on down the left side, a left foot step. That's very good running from a Cameron Ross. Now he goes to the ground about 5 metres out. Wainui think about a pick and go. They drive, they're just short by a metre. Draper, short ball for Terry Timet. Throws himself at the Orient Rongotai defence. Timet right in front of the referee. And the referee blows the whistle and he says he's short, but great rugby from Wainui Mata on attack and tremendous defence from Orient Rongotai.
We're seeing good big guys, props and locks just carrying the ball and being able to draw and pass it. The skill level was really high, eh? And Terry Timet, he has been everywhere today. He's injecting himself into the game, and likewise his fellow winger Michael Lealava, he's just bringing himself into the game at the right time and really penetrating and offloading. They're playing out of the skins a couple of these Wainui guys, and if they continue to play like this and keep putting pressure on Ories, they'll wear them down. And they spend a little bit of time in this 22. And they can continue to do that and hopefully come away with 7 points. The Ories will be having to work hard to get back out.
Gee, the defence, organisation and just the sheer character of Orient Rongotai defence, hasn't that really been answered in big numbers these last few minutes? Gee, they defended well.
They're getting up off the line really hard. They know they need to because they've got to shut down these Wainui guys who are offloading well and making the game line. So both sides have defended well today, but in particular the last couple of minutes, just always showing some great line speed.
Giving us a good game of footy out here at the Polo Ground today. 15 points to 12, nothing in the contest. The running has been direct and aggressive. The defence has been outstanding from both sides. We've seen some tight forwards show some skill. We've seen some tight forwards belt each other well. As there's been another replacement made. Ambrose Curtis has come from the field after getting a tap from Michael Lealawa'a a few minutes ago. It looked like a controversial hit, but the referee was happy as Draper feeds the scrum. It's good field position for Wainui Mata. John Monu standing still, goes to the line, easy target in defence, deliberately takes the ball into contact. The recycled Draper with a short ball for Leo Lofi. Tries to put a bit of footwork on Matalu, and a good drive forward from Wainui Mata, just driven back short by about a metre. They need to recycle the ball. They're in great field position. Wainui Mata, Ori Rongotai scrambling in defence. The referee says Wainui have found a way through. Plenty of bodies to get a try. It's a tough try to score as well. Ories look like they had it under control, but Wainui Mata, with their muscle and their power that we've seen in the last few minutes, they are finally rewarded.
They look really enthusiastic, and just then I just thought John Monu, nothing really on. He looked like he got held up by the Ories defence, and then just a pick and go, and the forwards in behind him managed to get him over the line. Good try to Ories. That's a Wainui, sorry.
Yes, so that brings it up to 17 points to 15. Wainui Mata, very good position for them. Now it's been a tremendous game of footy. We're just getting the score organised. Here now 17 points to 15. Josh Robertson, Wepu in a very good position. We'll go around the ground to give you the scores from the other games after this conversion. But Ories, they show great heart. Eventually the defence conceded the try, but gee, they were under enormous pressure on their own line for long periods of time, and eventually they conceded the try. So Robertson Wepu just takes the ball back just a little bit to the right hand side of the post, and a comfortable conversion for him. So that locks it up in a very, very close game at 17 points all, Oriental Rongotai and Wainui Mata. Didn't see who scored then, did you?
No.
Nice. Nice.
Wow, there you go.
Is it Glenn Angus?
Holy moly!
There's another one in that team, mate.
Yeah.
Secondary school team 2004, was he? Or close?
He was close. He was the trialist, I think.
I remember Waddy was impressed with him, mate. Oh, from Ories hand.
They are, eh? Is the pitch that heavy out there?
I think one of them maintain their tempo and that's right. 13. DX.
Where do you want to get all their players from?
Weird.
Really?
Irons.
Nice. Nice. Nice right, Josh.
Play on, play on. That's right.
Who scored that?
I think Mike. Lealawa'a. I think it was either Mike or Tal. Oh no, it was Tal. Game on.
Alright.
Both the techs have been like that though, eh? One other thing that's making the D work hard though on both attacks is the width of pass.
Both teams are passing quite well.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You've still got to bloom and drift out to the. That's it, 3 tries all.
Yeah.
They just made a change, Ken. I think Gush went off. Oh, nice. Ooh, numbers.
Use it or lose it. Oh, it's a fish. Hello. How long do you reckon to go?
Maybe 20.
Maybe 20. Sweet.
I made 2 changes to their
It's
backs.
22 points to 17. Now with Talma Mea scoring an outstanding try after a lovely switch and play involving Michael Lealava'a and Josh Robertson Wepu down the right side after Wainui had applied some sustained pressure. So back-to-back tries for Wainui. They push ahead by 22 points to 17. Now they feed a defensive scrum inside their own 22. Karawana to the line, gets over the advantage line. Isolated initially, Marvin Karawana. Ories had numbers over the ball and they've stolen the ball back. So now they're a chance. Proctor tips the ball on quickly up to the left side. Marama with a good strong run. They're just short a couple of metres. Orient Orangatai, they look to cycle the ball. And now an offload in the tackle and Halep Eames going at the Wainui line. They're just 2 metres short. Orient Orangatai now to ruck and the ball is coming back slowly as Wainui try to make a gain for the ball. Pemi Leotawa, penalty advantage for Orient Orangatai. Now they think about a quick tap. Lupo, the replacement front row, taps to himself. He's held up, he's a metre short. The ball very slow coming back on the Ories side. They pick and go towards the narrow left side. Ories still no try, still short. They've got numbers there. The referee, Ben O'Brien, in good position. Another charge over the line. And there it is for Orient Orangatai. They needed to hit straight backward. Get whoever the try scorer is for you. It looked like James Proctor perhaps. But again, pressure from Orient Orangatai on the Wainui line. And they come away with points.
Once again, Ories has shown a reluctance to take kicks at goal or kick the touch, and another quick tap and just maintain the pressure. Went the same way after Ben Tuatua coming on just after half time, made a huge run. Went through 2 or 3 of the Wainui players, and Ories been able to dominate and capitalise on what was a pretty good 5 or 10 minutes of passage of play.
Not quite sure who the try scorer was on that occasion for Orient Orangatai, but they had 4 or 5 direct runs at the Wainui defence line, and Wainui are forced to defend on the line. So that again locks it up at 22 all. It was 12-10 at half time, then it was 17-10, and then it was 17 all, then 22-17, and now with that try, it's 22 all with James Proctor taking the ball back just beyond the 22-metre line. He's wide out on the left-hand side. And again, as the minutes tick away in this closing quarter, we are all thinking about accumulating points for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think neither side have looked at kicking penalties, but they're just trying to play attacking rugby, and the attitude is great, and obviously we've got a big game tonight, but if either team play anything like what this club game shown today, it's going to be a ripper.
James Proctor, whose brother will be on show tonight, is successful with the conversion, so now Ories 24 points to 22 in a very good game of footy. Some of the physical exchanges have been outstanding. The quality of the hitting has been tremendous. We like a good tap now and again when we're watching footy, and some of the attack and ability of the players to keep the ball alive has been a real feature today.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Just the ability to offload in the tackle, and the supporting players have been there at the right times and really penetrating both teams' defence. It's been fantastic.
Well, Ories Rongatai, Hallam Eames was in a very good position to take the ball from the kick-off. He ran behind a player, the referee, Ben O'Brien, immediately penalised Ories Rongatai for obstructing defenders coming in to take Hallam Eames.
Yeah, Ben doesn't miss much, and this gives Wainui a good opportunity. They're going to have a crack at 3 points here, just to see if they can consolidate a little bit. Ories, they haven't had their hands on the ball. We haven't heard Simon Lomaloma's name at all this half, and that just sort of shows that Wainui has been able to hold on to the ball and sort of keep Ories out of the game. And Ories love holding on to the ball, and they love going forward. So Wainui so far are doing really well to keep them out of the game and keep the pressure on. And if they can try and maintain it for the next 10-15 minutes, they'll go pretty close here.
So Josh Robertson, Wepu, just his second year out of St. Pat Silverstream, a member of the national under-19 winning team that won the Jock Hobbs inaugural memorial tournament last year, has taken the ball back about 37 metres just to the left-hand side of the post. He's a right foot round the corner kicker, played some games on the wing this year, but his preference is to play foot. Strikes the ball nicely, but just pulls it towards the left-hand side, so no change to the score. Ories Rongatai 24, Wainui Mata 22.
Was that around the corner as opposed to a toe hacker? I haven't seen one of those for a while, Ken. Is that what you're sort of trying to say?
Something like that, 24 points to 22, the score. Robertson, Wepu not successful with the penalty, and as the minutes tick away, here as Proctor goes long on the restart, Henry Stowers has parked himself deep in the Wainui Mata half. He tucks the ball, gets himself set for a kick return, offloads the ball in the tackle for Leo Luffy, who loses it forward. So Ories Rongatai now with the advantage. Robertson, Wepu can't make the tackle, and Ories Rongatai now, that scrum will be on halfway, but every tackle, every possession, very important.
Yeah, Ross Bond, your mate, he talks about the yeehaw moments and the excitement levels. And just at the moment, Ories have had a couple of yeehaw moments, or a couple of big moments go their way. And I think just the next 10-15 minutes, Ories need to pull out some big tackles, just a couple of big plays to try and turn the ball around and get the momentum back going their way. Because at the moment, Ories, just the momentum and the excitement, they've just lifted a little bit in this last couple of minutes.
Simon Loma has been replaced. He hadn't really recovered after he got that beautiful shot from Attila Bar that snapped him in half late in the first half. So he sits down alongside Ambrose Curtis, who got a little tap from Mike Lalavaa. So it's very tough and very willing out there, offensively and defensively.
Only the strong survived today. It has been really physical, but it's been awesome to see. Both teams are running really direct, and there's been some pretty physical encounters, but it's been a great game of club footy.
So Pemia Leotawa with the feet of the scrum just inside the Wainui Mata half, will go around the grounds and bring you those other scores in about a minute's time here from the polo ground. Leotawa feeds, the ball comes back slowly. Proctor gets a high ball, goes long into the midfield. Now the ball along the ground goes behind Josh Robertson. Wepu Marama is now on, so Robertson, Wepu gets the ball, spins around, tries to advance the ball, doesn't find touch, and just outside of halfway now, James Proctor in the middle of the park, weighs up the defensive option, goes to the line, now recycles the ball quickly. Leotawa is at the back of the ruck, got some numbers on the left side, and Tuakana Mataro with a nice ball out to the left side, and some good running from Tuiatua with making immediate impact from the bench. Now to go to the left side. Matauro again is caught just behind the Ories Rongotai advantage line. There's Leotawa. He can see the ball at the back of the ruck. James Proctor wants them to go left, trying to drag in defenders to give themselves some space on the open side. Ories Rongotai. Now Pau Halafihi charges into the tackle of Lea Lofi and try hard to hold up Halafihi. He's got the ball up on the ground. The referee, Ben O'Brien, has just indicated that they've gone forward, and good defence. Very good work from Wainui. O'Brien indicated that the ball had been held up in the tackle, and Wainui win the scrum feed.
Yeah, that might have been one of those moments I was just talking about before. Ories had a really good attacking opportunity. They were going forward, and the Wainui defence able to hold up the ball carrier to get the turnover. So it's up to Wainui now to see if they can try and carry out their 22. You see Marvin Karawanda did that really well today. Probably see him again here. The backs are set up pretty flat, so they've got to have a go here. They've got to try and get down the other end of the field, but they also need to hold on to the ball. So 80 metres to go, but they need to do it, and they need to put some pressure back on Ories.
So there it is. It's a defensive assignment now for Wainui, who trail Oriental Rongotai by 24 points to 22. Here we go, here we go.
Give it, give it.
Oh, hey.
It's a tough one, mate. You're on your knees, you know. Just literally you want to...
If you're going to go wide, you need a halfback that's going to make the fucking breakdown. He was still over there, standing next to John Money.
It's just going the other way. It just done something completely different.
Is that right?
So I wonder if it's...
But me's just going, I got this, bro.
I think Simon might have
It was Tiller, wasn't it? Cleaned them out.
yeah.
Loud light. Go. How long we go, you reckon? Less than 10. Sweet. $27 points to 22. Now Oriental Rongotai, 27-22, they lead Wainui. Amata, they've just conceded a penalty. Ories has the minutes tick away every play now. And it's important, they take the quick tap. Marvin Karawanda with another offload, and they shift the ball to the left. It's been dropped by Wainui Amata, but the referee indicating it came off an Ories play. Now Henry Stowers operating down the narrow blind side, tries to keep the ball inside the field to play Draper. Now for Marmere at first receiver. Now they've got some numbers. Marvin Karawanda for Michael Lealava, cuts the ball out for Glenn Angus, and now Josh Robertson Wepu close to the touchline, tries to stay in the field and play. Good defence, Oriental Rongotai.
A bit of hard luck there, Wainui. They used the width pretty well there, and Robertson Wepu just getting bundled out, but they did pretty well. They sucked a couple of the Ories defenders in, and they tried to go wide again to try to stretch them through, but able to hold on to the ball there. I think they would have had a really good attacking opportunity back the other way.
Very intense now, 27 points to 22, just 5 points in it. Wainui come into this game 6th, wanting to make the 4, or Rongotai come into this game 3rd, wanting to stay in the 4. So the agenda for these various teams is pretty obvious.
Yeah, not a lot to go in the season, and it really is the business end right now. So Wainui, they've still got an opportunity though. The Ories, they've got to try and get out of their 22. And I'm sure Wainui will get at least a couple of opportunities with the ball, which they can turn into points if they can try and hold on to it.
So the line out will form just on the 22-metre line. We've seen for Oriental Rongotai, Prescott scored a try, and Toto scored a try for their 12 points. At half time, and Tuitama scored a very good try off a quick tap while the Wainui team were preoccupied. He scored a lovely individual try from about 32 metres out. And then they got a nice pick and go try out wide on the left hand side, and then consecutive penalties by James Proctor for their 27 points. Robertson Wepu's been very active, a try, conversion, penalty in the first half for their 10 points. And then a try in the second half, Robertson Wepu with a conversion. And then Taumā Mea with a lovely try after a nice switch of play involving Michael Lealabaa and Josh Robertson Wepu as the ball thrown into the line out and controlled by Oriental Rongotai. They try to get some metres going forward. James Proctor standing deep behind the ruck, looking for some field position. That's a good exit play for Ories.
Good exit play for Ories, but it still gives Wainui an opportunity with the ball. If they can win their line out, the line out's been going pretty well today. Both jumpers have been pretty consistent, and so you only might let's see some magic here.
Exit play, the modern term in the game. It's clearing your own 22. Draper now, Wally Myers out there. Dummies to Karawana. It's a second man play with a decoy Mamea. Then a beautiful ball out the back door from Michael Lealabaa for Robertson Wepu. He's getting better as the game goes on. A long ball now for Henry Stowers. Third man play for Karawana. A little bit of a half gap. Nice short ball for Angus. Beautiful defence from Halafihi. Puts a good shot on Angus. Running down the left side, Wainui looking for the football. Now they go to the left side of Tilavat, standing behind the advantage line, charges to the middle of the Oriental Rongotai defence. Another good run from a Tilavat. Now Henry Stowers gets the ball in motion, offloads the ball for Karawana. He tries to find a way to get the ball to the ground quickly, and they recycle. Wally Mai at first receiver. Long ball for Michael Lealabaa. He's a half gap from Lealabaa. He's close, Michael Lealabaa. The referee says it's a try, and it couldn't go to a more deserving player. Michael Lealabaa, he's been at everything today. His offence has been outstanding. His running has been brilliant. He's put a couple of controversial hits on there as well, and now he's come away with an outstanding try, Michael Lealabaa. Geez, had a good game today.
He's just brought himself into the game at great opportune moments. He's injected himself when Wainui have been on attack, and just then, the old heavy Wally Mai just gave him a good ball with a little bit of space. He just had a half gap, I suppose, on his defender. Managed to get the left arm up for the fend and carry the ball over the line. So it's the ice on the cake really for him. He's had a fantastic game today.
He's a good player, underrated. Michael Lealabaa, he hasn't played too much, to be fair. He hasn't played too much club footy in recent years for one reason or another. But today, the quality of his attack, his ability to offload the ball and keep the attack alive, has been a real feature, and aggressive. Well, he's always been an aggressive kid. I like the way that he hits, I like the way that he plays, and he deserves that try. He's been a dominant influence out there for Wainui today, and this combination with Martin Karawana has been a real feature.
Yeah, I also like Teru Taima as well. He's been in the game as well, and he's brought himself into the game at the right moments and try to get outside his 10 and 12, and he's made a huge impact also.
Well, we've got no idea who's going to win this game. It's been the nature of the contest. It's been a wonderful match, one of the best games we've seen of the club footy. We hope the game we see tonight will serve up the same quality. Josh Robertson Wepu, you can't make good for the conversion, so we'll take you quickly around the grounds and update you on the other scores. But it's 27 all here at the Oriental Rongotai home of the Polo Ground against Wainui. On it's controversial, 2 or 3 yellow cards.
Oh, I see.
Got a feeling that someone might not have told the truth about one of them. So, he told me last week he was on skiing down. That's why I thought if he was going to get Simon for that tap on there.
Oh, gosh.
Josh,
What are they doing?
You sure, Josh? Get him on the ball back. ball in before it hit the ground. Doing everything with Alavata. He was in the air when he threw that ball back in, eh?
Years.
What years is that? 16.
Jones.
Yo. Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
Clutch.
But I don't mean it any other reason other than observations over the years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of footy. 28-24, Tau over Huddle boys. Thanks Bucky, 27 all. It's getting very tense here at the Polo Ground. James Proctor's now going to attempt a penalty. He's about 25 metres out. He's on the right hand side of the park. The minutes are ticking away. Both these two teams are desperate to consolidate their positions either near the 4 or inside the 4 as we approach the playoffs for the 2015 Jubilee Cup. As James Proctor with a comfortable kicking style puts the ball through the middle. So now that makes it 30 points to 27. They have served us up a game of football today, these two wonderful clubs.
He's been pretty solid, James Proctor, today. We haven't heard a lot of him, but just a couple of crucial conversion and then a very good penalty from wide out has just kept Ories in the game.
So Wali Mai, who former International Sevens World Player of the Year, is on at first 5'8", opts for a short kick. Underneath it is Ross, the Ories player. Looked like he was taken in the air. The referee, Ben O'Brien, is happy. Now Paula Ukuso from inside his own 22 rushes away from a couple of defenders. He loses the ball forward. This is what Wainui Mara want. A football with field position. More tension and more drama.
Yeah, more seesaw action now. Wainui have got a chance. Akuso, he stepped a couple of players, was trying to get an offload towards Wainui. Unfortunately knocked it on, but it's what Wainui I think they want. It gives them a couple of one-on-one opportunities. Wali Mai is dangerous, Marvin Karawana is dangerous, and of course Michael Levar, he's hanging around out there to get the ball to that guy, because every time he's touched it, he's done damage.
So the scrum, it's a long way out, but they're inside the Orient Rongotai half. Wainui, the scrum will go down. It's on the left-hand side of the park. They're just beyond the 10-metre line, so they're probably looking at about 38 metres to go to the Orient Rongotai try line. Michael Levar has parked himself immediately behind Wali Mai. Nobody on a narrow blind side of about 7 or 8 metres. Corey Draper waits, gets a bit of hustle from his opponent. At halfback as the ball comes back slowly. Now Wali Mai standing still. Cut out ball for Karawana. Karawana thought about a long ball, gets away from the tackle of Okuso, deliberately takes the ball into contact, they recycle. Michael Levar at first receiver. Slips over in front of the tackle of Hallam Eames on the wraparound. A Wali Mai misses out 3 players for Atilava. Charges at the tackle of Paul Halafi, who gets the big front rower to the ground. Wali Mai's at halfback. Draper at first receiver. And now some powerful running from Clark, offloading for Masoi on the right side of Wali Mai with a long ball there. A chance now for Marmere with the ball back on the inside and a half volley. Josh Robertson Weber to stop and to go and to offload back to the right side. Good running from Morunga. They're close to the try line now. Draper waits. Lealava again, he's at first receiver. The ball slow coming back. Now they get the ball. Karawana, he misses out 1,000 players before going long. Out on the left side for Leo Luffy. Atilava goes the big dummy to Halafi. Atilava 5 metres short. They got numbers on the left side. Wainui, can they recycle the ball? No, it's slow coming back. The referee awards Wainui Mana a penalty. 30 points to 27. Time is ticking away on the clock. And the quality and width of the passing from Wainui Mana really trying to put some attack. And hang on, there's been a sin bin. There has been a sin bin, so they are down. And the quick tap taken by Wainui Amata now. Marvin Karawana, 3 metres out, Draper. Michael Alava again tries a bit of footwork. A brilliant midfield back who started on the wing. Oh no! Says Wainui Amata, oh yes, says Ori, there's awarded a penalty. A couple of controversial moments in the game. And Wainui Amata looked like Michael Alava not releasing the ball in the tackle.
It's a tough one because he broke the first tackle. It looked like he was going to break the second. I'm not sure if the Ories player had a hand on, but once again, Michael Levar had come into the back line really well. Looked like he evaded the first, and that's hard luck for him because he probably thought he was doing the right thing. But a great passage of attack from Wainui, and Attila Var just a couple of times getting his hands on the ball there, and he did well, the big fella. He's been great today.
So James propped up from the 5 metre line has found touch about 15 metres short of the halfway, and it looks like it is Tuakana Maturo, who was in the sin bin for Oriental Rongotai College Old Boys, a full-time university student. He's been good today as well, sometime blindside flanker and back row, but in recent times he's been playing lock. Joey Mears towards the front, but the ball is stolen. In the line out by Glenn Angus. Now Leo Lofi standing at first receiver, charges at the line. The ball is on the ground. Wali Mize at first receiver. Now Karawana shows the ball on the outside, goes to the ground. James Proctor with the tackle. Wali Mize at halfback. Now Corey Draper. They come back to the right side. They just tip it on in midfield. Angus takes on 2 defenders. He's taken about 30 metres out. They recycle quickly. Numbers on the right side. Henry Stowers with the right foot step. Gets away from the first defender. Second tackler's arriving, able to get him to the ground. Wali Mai now, Karawan back on the left side with some footwork in between 2 defenders. Marvin Karawan, there's a clean out. Wainui got no halfback. Now the penalty, Oriental Rongotai, they pumped the air. Wainui, they just lacked the number. They were looking to recycle the ball quickly, no halfback. And then Oriental Rongotai able to pinch the ball and they've won a penalty.
Yeah, Wali Mai just got caught out the ruck and he probably needed one more clean out from one of the supporting players, and Ories did pretty well to turn the ball over. I thought they were shifting the ball well. Wali Mai just moved the ball really well in 2 or 3 phases of play, and unfortunately for Wainui, Ories will probably kick this out, which could be full time.
So James Proctor, all eyes on referee Ben O'Brien. No, he's called for the line out to be formed, so we are well and truly in referee's time. 30 points to 27, and what has been a thrilling game of rugby, a crucial round 4 game of the Jubilee Cup. Both these 2 teams today have shown that they are good enough to go all the way in this competition, but can they get enough wins to qualify to the postseason? That's the key. Some more hustle from Wainui Amata at the breakdown. Ories have lost about 6 metres of the play. Tuitama, who scored a very good try, trying to tidy things up for Ories. They are close to the touchline. Back on the Oriental Rongotai side of the ruck, the ball is slow, coming back. Wainui Amata trying to be disruptive, trying to find a way to get their hands on the football, but Ories just hanging on, then pick and go stuff, ball up the jersey.
Penalty Wainui have got an opportunity here, Ken.
They have, Oriental Rongotai were trying to lock it up. Draper with the quick tap. Wali Mai, dummy to go to the open side. Proctor makes an easy tackle. So Wali Mai's on the ground. They need to recycle the ball. Ories are screaming for the penalty. They've won the ball, and they're immediately looking to kick the ball out. Someone's told them it's full time, have they? The referee, Ben O'Brien, has blown the whistle. And the signs of relief. And I'm looking at Oriental Rongotai. Stalwart Tim Reddish, he looked a minute ago like he's going to have a heart attack. Now he's pumping the air. The veteran Ories supporter. What a game of footy they've given us. It's been a real thriller, disappointment for Wainui Amata. They probably didn't deserve to be a leader, a loser today, JP, given the quality of football we've seen from both sides.
Well, Wainui, after a slow start, they just got themselves back into the game. I thought they played some awesome attacking footy today. Their defence was rock solid as well, and they were unlucky. Just a couple of key moments in the game that the penalty didn't quite go the way. There was a turnover ball, and I won't say Ories got out of jail because they had to play pretty well today to beat this Wainui side, who I think probably have been one of the better teams I've seen play late in this Jubilee Cup round.
Yeah, so it was a dead set thriller today. The score just 12-10 at half time, 2 points separating the team, and then there was a 17-10 difference, a 22-17 difference, a 22 all scoreline, 27 all at one stage, and then James Proctor with a very important penalty at the end. But it was a thrilling game of football. My thanks to JP Tucker for his comments and contribution today. Ories Taronga, they deserved this win, a close one and an entertaining game, 30 points to 27 over Wainui.